Good morning, everybody. Here we are on Friday. A lot of you are really happy that it's Friday. But here we are on Friday, the 15th day for the 26 components of a kingdom. It's a bit cloudy today. It was a beautiful day yesterday. Bright, sunny, and hot day. And, well, a little cloud will happen. We're going to start getting into a few things that we're getting into some of the finer points now of the kingdom, and there's some things here that are so fine that we can get them confused and they can cross over. Today we're dealing with the authority of delegation. Now, there can be confusion between ambassadors, envoys, messengers, and such. And there might be a little bit of overlap in some of these, but it's very specific on what their role is. A messenger is like Gabriel, who shows up and tells Mary that she's been chosen. It doesn't do anything. It just comes and gives a message. Ambassador, well, we're not going to touch that because we're dealing with that on Monday after the weekend. But today we're really dealing with the authority of delegation. And it's because the kingdom, it's a representative system. The Lord, our King, in inviting us into the kingdom and accepting us into the kingdom and adopting us into the family, has taken on responsibility according to His law, according to His character. It's not something He's forced to do by an outside force, because our God doesn't answer to anybody or anything. This is who He is, and all the laws and rules and teachings and everything come from Him. They flow from Him like a river. So these are things that He has decided to do, and He's true to His word and to His promises. So when He adopts us, when He takes us in, He takes on certain responsibilities for us. But in doing that, the kingdom is a system of representation. So he will use people to carry out His responsibility. And we would know them as envoys. And you would know perhaps that term. We're in the news, we hear about an envoy from the UN, a UN representative. And they're tasked to fulfill the UN's responsibility in certain areas. They go with that authority to carry out what needs to be done in that area. It's the same in the kingdom. For an example, yesterday I had an encounter with an envoy of the king. And he probably didn't even know he was tasked with something. He did it because the Holy Spirit prompted him to do it. And we need to begin to see this when the Holy Spirit prompts us to do things, that we've actually been we've been picked as an envoy to represent the king in that situation. So you've all heard me complaining. And complaining is a wrong thing for me to do, and I've got to stop it. But in what we do as a church with the cafe, not a lot of you are available to volunteer and to help out with the ministry that we have here. So sometimes it's a one-man show. My wife helps when she can. I bring on some of my children during the busy time. We do what we can, but it gets tiring. And yesterday, an envoy of the king showed up to encourage me and to lend support, and you know that to be Tim. But Tim showed up at a certain time in the morning, and he said, "Okay, that's it, go take some rest." Unfortunately, in the morning I can't do that, because it's prep time, and all the prep has to be done for the rest of the day. And if we don't do the prep, then we're in trouble for the rest of the day. But instead, Tim looked around. He had been tasked by the king to lend support and encouragement for that period of time. He looked around to see what he could do, and he ended up taking the shopping list, going out, and purchasing the supplies that were needed for the day. Later in the day, he came back and provided a period of rest where it was possible. I greatly appreciated it, and he learned a lesson about how busy this place can become. But the fact is, he came because the Lord has that responsibility for me, that in the task that he's given to me, that he lends me support. He provides for that task. He provides energy. He provides love. He provides the support, and he sends in that help when it's needed. And some of you have encountered envoys. That person who's come up and given you $20. That person that was there to help with the flat tire. All these sort of things. Sometimes we refer to these people as angels, but these are envoys, people who the Lord has tasked to represent him in that situation where he is providing that love and support to his citizens. And that's exciting when you think about that. So this is what the kingdom is based on. The king has given all these promises, and then he tasks that. He chooses envoys to carry out those promises. Isn't that what we all want to be? We want to be sensitive to the King. We want to take direction by the Holy Spirit. We want to be those envoys. We want to be used. We wake up in the morning and say, "Use me, Lord." In other words, we're saying, "Lord, I'm available as an envoy today. I'm available to represent you today. I'm available to carry out, to distribute the resources, to be part of that commonwealth, Lord." That's what we want, and that's what the kingdom is. So it's not just the lost and the broken. I mean, that's what we're here for. But there's a whole system of support, because we're although the kingdom is in us, we also have to understand that the full kingdom is not here yet, and we are. This is more of a colony. It really is a colony, and the king has set up a system in place to support the colony and the colonists and the workers that are here with expanding the kingdom. We're here to expand the kingdom, to bring as many people into the kingdom as possible, the lost, the broken, the hurting, the desperate. But he has put that system of envoys, that representation in, and he'll send his resources into people who will then have the responsibility of distributing it. It's incredible. It really is incredible. And when we begin to see the church as the kingdom, as we begin to see this, things fall into place, and it makes a lot more sense. And then that responsibility takes on, hey, it's not me who's deciding to do this. I've been tasked as an envoy to represent the Lord in this situation. It really is amazing. So I want to encourage you today to be the envoys, to carry out whatever task that you've been tagged for in the situations that you're going to be involved with today. Remember, it's not about us. It's not about us. It's about serving the King. We have died, and we have been risen to life in our King, and we are about his business, and he lends us support through his system of representation. So you have a great day. God bless.